When we pause to reflect on this moment right now, it's easy to be overwhelmed with how much work is left to do. It's also easy to overlook the muscle pushing the boulders up these strenuous and steep hills we stand on. But behind every boulder, pushing every lever, barely pausing to take a breath, are we, a group of people who care deeply about kids in our communities. And we have entered into this trek wide-eyed and having committed ourselves to this hard and complex work. Even though we still have mountains to climb, there is so much progress in the pockets across our network. There have been many classrooms that have enabled children to flourish. There have been programs designed and redesigned to support communities, and there are networks growing and thriving in support of each other's goals to one day, ensuring an excellent education for all kids. These are drops in the bucket, and while we must celebrate any progress, if only to energize our bodies and fuel our minds, we know it is not enough. And yet, in work that is this hard and complex, we must look to the bright spots to shine a light in the dark. The Org-wide Learning Agenda, or OWLA for short, is designed just for that. It's informed by failures, like the first version of the OWLA in 2016 that you probably never saw. At that time, we wanted to start small, so we chose 2 narrow questions. But it failed because the questions didn't matter to most of our community. Lesson learned, learning has to be relevant. It's also inspired by bright spots, like the strategic clarity efforts anchored in the 6 questions. Developed by the Systems Impact Lab and informed by decades of learning from leaders in systems making change, the 6 questions have catalyzed continuous inquiry into systems change and strengthened the clarity and conviction of leaders across our network. Drawing from this example, the OWLA organizes learning around these same questions. Number 1, naming measurable progress. Number 2, reflecting on the historic drivers of that progress. Number 3, isolating Teach for America's contribution. Number 4, naming what must happen next for our kids. Number 5, exploring how we can catalyze change faster. And number 6, naming the role of our core members and alumni. How do we reach a 10-year goal when the path is uncertain? We must learn together faster. The OWLA is the system to bring together learning from across TFA to boost the pace of change and enable us to make measurable, meaningful progress for our kids. Leveraging a shared learning agenda organized by the 6 questions, we will ground ourselves in success across Teach for America, elevate that learning for each other, focus on our most urgent priorities, and ensure this work is collective, ongoing into the future. The OWLA is the connector that enables us to lock arms with each other and move mountains. Through the Org-wide Learning Agenda, we can stop reinventing the wheel, share insights easier and faster, learn and fail forward. We can be the broad and diverse coalition we always aspired to be. We will operate now as one TFA, and we can reach our 10-year goal and break through to meaningful change for our kids. So join us, moving one day forward.